What's up, guys, and welcome back into Breaking Boards. In today's episode, we're going to break down Sunday morning football's game between the Denver Broncos traveling to take on the New York Jets. This game has a total that currently sits at 43.5, with the implied team total for the Denver Broncos being 26.5, and the implied team total for the Jets being 17.5. Before we hop into the player-by-player breakdown, you'll see a QR code on your screen. If you'd like to scan that, you can go over to my site, breakingboardsdfs.com, and you'll see some prices and plans that you can sign up for. If you sign up for the pro plan, you will have everything that you need in order to put lineups together that should give you positive ROI for Sunday morning's contest. The price for that package is $19.99 per month. Currently, it is on a 7-day free trial. So if you want to go check it out, if you like it, stick around. If you don't, cancel. No big deal. Appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully you get something out of the video. If you do, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for additional NFL content throughout the season for DraftKings. A little bit under the weather here, so bear with me if I have to clear my throat a few times during the video. Starting here with the Denver side, up top at the QB position, we have Bo Nix. Bo Nix is definitely a captain viable option on this slate. Not a great slate for me overall, but I think it's fine. Bo Nix, you're going to want to pair him with at least 2 pass catchers. You could include the running backs in that. You could go Courtland Sutton, J.K. Dobbins, Troy Franklin, Evan Ingram. You could even put the Broncos defense in there if you'd like. Will Lutz, R.J. Harvey, Marvin Mims, Adam Trotman, Tyler Batty, or Bidet, whatever he wants to be called, Trent Sherfield, Pat Bryant, and the last guy I would look at here would be Adam Prentice, although he would be a severe dart throw for me in Sunday's contest. So that would be the core of players that I would look to pair alongside Bo Nix if I were building Bo Nix captain lineups, which I will be doing quite a bit. Again, not a lot to love on this slate, but a few playmakers here. And I think Bo Nix is one of those players. If you want to know exactly my projection and exactly my ownership, again, go sign up for the pro plan on the site. If we flip over to the running back position for Denver taking on a Jets team that's been gashed on the ground, you have J.K. Dobbins and you have R.J. Harvey. And as we scroll down, we have Tyler Bidet and we have Adam Prentice. Again, for me, Prentice would be a severe dart throw in very large field contest. You're looking at probably pulling back somewhere under 1 fantasy point. So not someone I'm going to love to get to. I don't mind getting to Bidet in larger field contests. His upside's a bit capped in this spot, but if Dobbins or Harvey were to go down, he would get some increased workload there. But we don't want to build our lineups to project for that. But he's been decent for the price this year. A couple 3-4 point games mixed in there, so nothing that's going to break away from the field. But if a lineup happens to fall together and it has $1,400 remaining, I don't mind getting to Bidet in those lineups. Next up, these are the 2 guys that I would consider in the captain spot for Denver. You have Harvey and you have Dobbins. Harvey had that 19.8 game. A few, I don't want to say duds, but I mean, at $4,400, what are you going to do? If you get the 7.9, I'm cool with that at $4,400. If I get the 6, I'm cool with that at $4,400. I think he's in play. Could be a spot where, he has another decent breakout game like he did against Cincinnati, putting up a 19.8. So I'll be over the field on R.J. Harvey, one of my favorite players on the board at price. J.K. Dobbins up next here at 14.1 in the captain spot. Just solid, and that might be what you need on this slate. You might just need a couple of guys who are just solid, going to get you 13 to 15, maybe 16 fantasy points, and you plug them in, you keep it moving. So I'll be over the field in the flex on both these guys, and I'll be over the field in the captain spot as well. Flipping over to the wide receiver side, you got Courtland Sutton, Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims, Trent Sherfield, and Pat Bryant. Sherfield and Bryant are both large field GPP dart throws for me in the flex spot. No captain ownership on those guys at all. You're probably looking somewhere between 2 and 5 fantasy points for both those players. Next up, I would look at each one of these three in the captain spot. I'll be over the field on Marvin Mims. Looks like a pattern here, right? 3, 10, 1, 20, 3, 30, right? I'm not expecting 30 in this spot, but I am expecting somewhere 12 to 14, something like that. I think he has a good game here with Cortland Sutton primarily seeing Sauce during this game. I think Troy Franklin and Marvin Mims would be more involved. And I think this spot with DJ Reed being out in New York now sets up well for Marvin Mims to have a decent game here. So I'll be over the field, especially at $3,200. I will include him in my captain pool. I don't mind if you're playing a 2,000, 5,000 man field. I don't mind sneaking in a Marvin Mims in a 3 max or a single entry in the captain spot. If you do have him in the captain spot, make sure you get Bo Nix in the flex. Same here with Troy Franklin. If you have him up top, include Bo Nix in the flex. I'll be probably about the field on Troy Franklin in the captain and in the flex. I do think he could have a decent game, but not something I'm projecting. As you see here, I mean, he's just kind of had that one game, but if he has it again, one game slate could happen. So I will match the field on Troy Franklin. Next up, we have Cortland Sutton. I think he's probably looking at around 14 fantasy points. I think Sauce is going to pull him back. He's been having a great year to start here, just following up on his year last year. If you do have him in the captain spot, make sure you get Bo Nix in the flex. Moving over to the tight end position for Denver, you have Evan Ingram. You have Adam Trotman. And to a lesser extent, you have Nate Atkins. Atkins will be a huge dart throw for me in big contest. Has a 2.5. If he has that at 200, you're going to be golden. But don't, worry that there's a 0 on the table as well, right? So take that into consideration. No captain ownership for me on Atkins. Trotman, at his price is fine. 1,600. He does have a 10 on the board so far. But you're probably talking, 3, 4, 5 fantasy points for him. Won't be a captain viable player for me on the board for Sunday. I will consider mixing in so captain Evan Ingram. Pretty good spot here against a Jets defense that's been suspect against tight ends. And he's starting to play a little bit better and see more targets. So I will mix in Evan Ingram in the captain spot. Look to be around the field on him. If you do have him in the captain spot, make sure you have Bo Nix. Flipping over to the kicker and the defense. My two preferred options on this slate, as far as kickers and defenses, this is the best matchup on paper for kickers. I do think he sees above 9 fantasy points in this spot. So like the spot and how it sets up for Will Lutz. And then the Broncos defense has been pretty decent to start the season as well. I think they see 9, 10 fantasy points as well. If we're building 150s, I'll have 1 to 2% of both of those players in the captain spot. If you have them up top, you can do whatever you want with the lineup after that. Flipping over to the Jets side. Up top, we have Justin Fields, who's been balling out to start the season. I believe he has 3 games over 20, 29 to 28 to 25. I do think this is a bit of a letdown spot in that could he score 20, 25 points? Sure. But I would project less in this spot. This Denver defense is probably top 3, maybe top 1 in the NFL. And I don't think this sets up well for Justin Fields. I think he'll be fine. I'll look to match the field in the captain and in the flex on Justin Fields, but I won't be over the field like I was against Dallas. Next up at the running back position, this is a 2-headed beast now with Breece Hall, Isaiah Davis. I'll be over the field on both these players. I think we're going to see Fields check the ball down more than he actually likes to do on Sunday morning. So I'll be over the field on Hall and Davis. Won't have Davis in the captain spot, but, with Allen out of the lineup, we're probably talking 4 to 8 fantasy points on Isaiah Davis at 4,000. So don't mind that at all. And then Breece Hall, starting to come on now that he's seeing 20 plus touches a game. So I think we're probably talking 18 fantasy points or so for Breece Hall. If you want to know for sure, go check out the pages we talked about earlier. If you have Breece up top, you don't have to have Fields in the flex, but you can if you'd like. I actually prefer in this spot not to have Fields in some of those lineups because If Hall is scoring, then that kind of caps the upside for Fields, whereas Fields tends to rush the ball in at times. So if Fields is having a really great game, unless he passes one to Hall, what are the odds both those guys are getting multiple rushing touchdowns against the Denver defense is pretty good. So I actually prefer Hall up top with a Bo Nix mini stack in the flex if I have Hall captain lineups. Looking at the wide receiver spot, we have Garrett Wilson. We have Josh Reynolds. We have Arian Smith. We have Tyler Johnson. Johnson has been decent. And with Lazard out in week 1, he saw 5.1 fantasy points. If you get 5 fantasy points at 800, could be pretty decent on the slate. So don't mind mixing him in the flex. Will not have any in the captain spot. Arian Smith, almost the same thing, right? He's put up 2-3 fantasy points. He's fine, right? He'll see probably 30% of the snap share. He's a decent option. No captain ownership on him. Same thing with Josh Reynolds. He'll be fine, right? At 3,600, if he puts up 8, cool, man. Love it. So I'll match the field on those guys, but won't have any in the captain spot. Garrett Wilson, favorite player here for the Jets outside of Fields and Breece Hall and one other player we'll talk about in just a second. But I think we probably see, same old, 15, 17, 20 points. For Garrett Wilson, I'll look to be about the field or slightly over the field on Garrett Wilson in the captain and in the flex. If you have him up top, you can throw Justin Fields in the flex, given that these guys are going to move together. Flipping over to the tight end spot for the Jets, you have Mason Taylor and you have Jeremy Ruckert. Ruckert's been pretty decent at that $2,400 salary. I'll mix him in, won't have any in the captain spot. One of my favorite plays on the board, Mason Taylor, this week, starting to pop off at 7,800 in the captain spot. We'll have some of him in the captain spot for Sunday morning. I'll be over the field in the captain and then the flex on Mason Taylor. If you have him up top, throw Fields in there. Next up, we have Nick Folk, and we have the Jets defense. Folk would be my third favorite kicker and defense. He's started off this season pretty well. I expect him to do well in this spot again. We'll mix in probably 1% in 150 builds of Folk captain, but we'll be over the field in the flex. Jets defense is by far my least favorite of the kickers and defenses. I have them significantly under projected due to the fact that they've just been getting gashed. I mean, they gave up 34, 30, 29, 27, and 37. I mean, this is just pitiful defensive play right now for the Jets, and I will be under the field on them. I'll probably cap my ownership at around 8%. I'll have none in the captain spot. That's going to do it. Quick breakdown of Sunday morning's game between the Denver Broncos traveling to take on the New York Jets. Again, 7-day free trial on the site if you want to go check out the plans. You'll be able to see the showdown breakdown for Sunday morning, which is already up. If you purchase the rookie plan, if you buy the pro plan or go on the trial of the pro plan, you'll be able to see the complete DFS projections sheet, which you can manipulate if you don't agree with my projections. I appreciate you guys sticking with me throughout the video. Hopefully you're having a good week headed into the weekend, and hopefully we take down something large over on DraftKings. And I appreciate you guys sticking with me when I've been sick over these last couple of weeks. It's been extremely tough to talk for 30 minutes at a time to try to get these out, but I appreciate you guys sticking with me and being patient. We'll see you guys in the next video.